Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cringetopia podcast, and welcome to 2021 from everybody here at the Cringetopia podcast. I'm your host, the King of Saturday, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a new era. This is a new season. Hosts, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Who will go first?
Who goes first?
Who goes first?
I'm Dominic, aka
Dominic-
Leon Trotsky.
Dominic is in fact a new host. Yes, he is the fourth in our awesome team. Todd, go ahead. You got this, buddy.
Oh yes. Hello, I am the greatest of Todd, and I'm another host.
This is quite
on this,
epic.
Not to be confused with the worst of Todd.
Exactly.
That person we don't speak to.
The worst
No,
of Todd
no,
is
he's
just the
the
evil, the
other
greatest
half
of Todd.
that we don't talk about because he's absolutely vile. But no, I'm the greatest of Todd, and I'm another host
Mr.
on this
Jekyll and
great
Mr. Hyde type shit.
podcast. Exactly.
And
I'm-
unfortunately, in the first episode of our second season, our wonderful podcast host, Scatterman, cannot join us today. Everybody, let's have 2 seconds worth of silence for Scatterman,
Agreed.
the guy who is not here for our podcast right now. All right.
Move to
Alright.
Portland.
Alright, I'm moving on.
all right. Everybody else who's on the podcast today, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll do it. The name's Bear Northman, aka the North Bear.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
name Simon, and let's talk
he's
about
from
some
Canada.
crap. Yeah,
He's from
Yeah,
Canada.
Canadian.
Yeah. Worst
Yeah, I'm
country
also-
ever. Am I right? Am I right, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen? Worst
I
country
cannot
ever.
agree. I cannot agree
You
with
suck.
this statement,
I'd
but
nuke-
He's
opinions
not
are
even a real
valid.
person. He's
I'd
a
nuke the
snowman.
shit out of your country, out of your entire stinking country. No, I'm kidding.
Just do what Fallout does and just annex it. Just annex stuff already.
All right, who else?
Okay,
Who else is
next-
here in
next person.
chat? Who else is here in chat?
Oh, Vac. Gotta introduce
Oh yeah,
Vac.
well Vac is here in chat. Vac does not do talking, so I will be doing the best I can to ignore her casual harassment and understand
Yes.
her questions that she is posing. So this is
But
going to be
she's
quite
still
The
interesting.
very
great
late-
resident of
late reaction.
Cringetopia.
And we also have Aphrodite with us. Aphrodite, please do introduce yourself, otherwise known as Baba
Hello.
Yaga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people call me both. My name's
Yeah.
Aphrodite.
Yeah, it's very nice to have you on the podcast. It's very, very nice.
And least but not last, we have the professor.
Least but not last,
Oh,
let's go,
yeah.
Professor Vaharak.
What's up? We made it to 2021. We're ready to see this mother blow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
So
You live in
before we
Mexico,
go on
which is
to-
another horrible name. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, another horrible country.
Before
Hell
we
yeah,
go
baby.
on to
we got a
Before we
resident
go on.
Canadian. We got a resident.
before we go
Mexican.
on to
we're
Fallout
all, we're all
Frontier.
good here.
I do want to go bring up these two topics.
Amen.
The other day, Betty
Hmm.
White turned 99,
Betty White.
Hey.
Why can't da Betty be black though?
and today, Larry King died of COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite,
that's-
one of my favorites.
that's-
No, he was a good guy, and
I
He was
swear
a
he's
legend,
been
man.
around since TV was invented.
yeah.
Hmm.
He was the
been around since
American.
people could
Also-
He was
talk.
the American broadcaster. You know,
Yeah.
my
And
dad
also
felt a
in,
kinship with
another
him very
person
much.
who is on the death list is I was gonna add that also people would know this as much, but I figured out today because of another server I'm on. YouTuber called the Big E15. Big Elder Scrolls YouTuber, worked alongside other names that you guys
Hmm.
probably wouldn't know, Imperial Knowledge and Lady of Scrolls. Also passed away due to a seizure at the age of 23.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh,
that's
that's
awful.
way too young.
That's
That is-
awful.
23.
Jesus.
Ooh, we're
Oh,
starting off
21.
depressing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
21
fucking
would be-
awful.
Hey
Throwing
guys, how you
punches.
going?
Oh,
And it
hey,
is tactical
surprise!
Toby. Toby.
Surprise! A big surprise!
Oh.
Welcome, Toby, to the Cringetopia podcast.
Our resident
Thanks.
Brazilian.
Like I
Oh
just
my
came
goodness.
here and I saw the comment on the general chat saying that you have one more seat for the podcast.
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
glad you
welcome.
took it, partner.
Welcome.
And I thought, you know what, I might just do that, for the goodness of my art.
Yeah, of course.
That is
We're
mighty kind
happy
of you.
you're here. We're happy you're here. We were talking
Oh.
about celebrity deaths.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very awful
a good
stuff.
topic.
Yeah.
a fun and
Just-
inspiring topic.
Just Betty White will never die.
Betty White isn't.
No,
Like
the Queen.
Queen Elizabeth
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
certainly
Yeah.
sad that such young people pass away, especially Larry King. Such in the prime of his life, so much
My
left to live
God.
on, and he just sees these guys and he's like, well, another one,
So it's
another soul
very
in my
sad
pocket,
when somebody it's very sad when somebody very young ends up dying.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a tragedy. Like they're supposed to live a long, lasting life, and then they die in like a car accident or something.
Yeah.
I'm
know,
really
that's
surprised
just-
about the YouTuber because 23 and a seizure. I mean, what kind of
Mhm.
lifestyle were you going through to go through that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry,
don't
who
know.
was
It was
that?
It's just a
very.
Who was
super
the YouTuber?
unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
It's just how just life happens. But
Yeah, I guess.
moving away from the depressing era,
Yes,
with
of
what we're
course.
talking
Yeah,
about,
I agree.
Ladies.
on to talk about Fallout Frontier.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, ladies and
Fallout New
gentlemen.
Vegas
So
mod.
we're
You
you
said
know,
away from the depressing, man. What the hell is this?
but ladies and gentlemen of the internet,
Depending on who you
we
ask.
got our podcast got its origins in the game of Fallout, and recently Fallout has had an awesome game-sized mod come out. And we kind of just want to talk about it as a collective and just see what we kind of
Yes.
think of it. I'm sure we're gonna like it. I'm sure we're gonna not like some of it, and I've got some notes that I'd like to bring up, and I'm sure other people have got some reviews for it. And this is not supposed to be a takedown of their hard work or whatever. I understand that creating a mod is tough and creating a story is
Hey,
tough.
Oh, they
a
did
better-
very well.
They did a better
Like-
job than I could
In
have.
what this
Like-
mod has been in development for what, like 9 years?
Yeah.
No, 7.
There's a reason why I
Seven?
don't write
Still,
Fallout. It's
They,
because I'm
they
a
did
Still,
dumbass.
such a they did such a good job compared to
And
Cyberpunk.
some of that talent shows. Like there are some parts where it's just
Yeah,
like,
it's-
yes,
It's
here is
more
quality.
stable than
Oh,
Cyberpunk,
so
and that's
Vac
saying
says-
something.
Vac says in all caps, "Fuck yeah, horny anthropomorphic lizards."
We'll get
Hell
Which
to
is
yeah.
so epic.
We'll get to that.
which is
That's
so-
that's in the future.
That's such an epic part of the game. It's such an epic part of the game. The only thing that could have been made
a
epic.
vital,
The only
crucial, the centerpiece of this game.
But with Fallout Frontier, I do think they did a very good job with the vehicles and the
that's not a real
storylines for
word.
each faction.
The only way that this game could be epicer is if the anthropomorphic lizards teamed up and attacked New Vegas. That would be just so epic. I'd be
Oh, what the
so...
fuck?
Please, no.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool though.
Lizard
What,
faction.
what even
Don't
is
give
the
him
mod about anyway?
Arthur,
What
don't
even is
give him
the
any
mod
ideas
about?
for a sequel,
So the
please.
mod
Don't give them
about
any
the
ideas.
mod is about like so essentially the courier finds their way into Portland, originally operating with the NCR exiles, who are like an army of the NCR who decided to leave the NCR because of some sort of betrayal at Helios 1. I'm not gonna heavy spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
tell me anyway. I don't give a shit.
But yeah, so basically this exile army of the NCR has gone to Portland, which is in the north. And up in the north, due to the radioactive, bombs and the seismic activity, it's just kind of morphed the landscape into this horrible icy wasteland that is that's like a nuclear winter. And basically up in the north, as far as the NCR have risen, so have the Legion, which they've came into Portland as well. But the Legion are less of the Legion, more of like a local people who.
So wait, is this after the battles, the second battle of Hoover Dam?
This is
And
before the second battle of Hoover Dam.
Okay.
And one of my issues with the game is that the courier is revered as like a legend or something.
Already?
Yeah. The courier is revered as like some
Yeah,
sort
like-
of a legend.
Like right off the bat,
Yeah,
like in the
right
start
off
of the
the
game.
bat.
Nobody knows who he
Whenever the
is. And
character gets captured
It's kind of a
later
bad
on
thing, isn't it?
working with the NCR, they're like, "Oh, guys, we have to deploy this huge sect of ours to save the courier. We got to get the courier, guys. They're
Yeah.
uber important."
What kind of makes me upset is like how awfully weird it sounds that like whenever I'm interacting with these dudes, they refer to me as not the courier for the beginning. They refer to me as legendary courier, which makes me a little upset and makes me feel like I'm being patronized so that I'll like the game.
and also,
Oh no!
In a way, it's like a Call of Duty.
yeah.
Because-
it's a lot like Call of Duty.
You're a
The
one-man
first
army.
act of
just
the
trying-
NCR is
you get
well
to
known
decide
that
what's
it is
going on
very
there.
linear. They have
That's
it on
the
the
thing.
mod
Call of Duty,
page
you
that
don't
they know
decide
that
really
it's
what
linear.
you
Wait.
with
There's two
Call of
people
Duty.
talking at the same time.
I'm sorry.
Todd, go first because you're
Todd
speaking
first.
first.
Todd first.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that on the mod page. They mentioned that the first act is the most linear, especially the NCR route is like you are on a path, and while that's fine and all, but I mean they obviously know about it. It's not like they deny it like other things, but it just feels weird because Fallout like linearity. Yes, it does it, but and doing that with it, especially because The first act is COD. Like, it's Call of Duty. They have
100%.
literally the explosions, the gunfire on the battlefield, like the Sherman tanks.
Like one of the things
Like,
that I
it's
noticed
Call of
was
Duty.
like there's rock music the entire time. There's like rock music like throughout the entire first segment of
Yeah.
the game.
And that's not very
Wait.
Fallouty
Yeah.
at all.
What
Yeah,
kind of
right.
rock music?
It's like
What kind of rock music?
it's like something that you'd find in like a
Royalty free
like some
library.
Godsmack or something like that.
like no, it's not hard rock per se. It's not like screamo. It's not like doom shit. It's more of
Yes.
like
Like Buddy Holly, like Elvis Presley.
Alternative.
no. It's more. It's okay. I don't know because it's not hard. It's not heavy metal. Maybe it's hard rock. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
you know,
You mean they had a chance to play some Chuck Berry in the middle of a siege scene, and they didn't put like one of the 50s songs? You know, the song from the 50s.
well, what I thought was a really interesting choice is that one of the first missions you go on is a training mission where you're shooting at dummies that are like snaking and you know it's like rock music everywhere and you're literally deploying mines to breach doors and like I'm like this is eerily like something like Call of
Oh,
Duty
buddy.
or a more realistic like
Yes.
I need
shooter
to know
type
what the
game.
song is. I need to know what the song is.
You'll
because
get to it.
I,
I'm sure you'll get to it. You can't
Just-
fucking
No,
miss
that's
it.
the
we
thing.
don't
Just
know.
look
I
it
don't
up
think
when
I'm
you-
gonna play this song.
Also,
honestly.
one
I
of
don't-
the things that kind of doesn't fit with the Fallout universe is that whenever you open up your Pip-Boy and you play like one of the radios, like you can actually find like modern folk music, kind of like hipster folk on there, which
Oh
I
my
yeah,
God,
which I have the feeling that since like in Fallout, you know, the kind of aesthetic of the 50s, or at least the aesthetic of the 50s is very fetishized by these people. I have the feeling that modern kind of fucking modern hipster music wouldn't really fit in with their
Not at
culture.
all.
Yeah, like I don't know,
Absolutely.
it fucks with me.
For the playstyle they did, they probably
There
had
was-
to do that music just to make it fit, like feel correct.
Feel more upbeat.
Vac
and, like,
makes a good
Yeah.
Vac makes a good point. She says that old Halo and new campaign mods, and old Halo and like techno rock music are very present, like together, and I feel like it's very reminiscent of old Halo. Yeah, I agree.
Techno
Well, the
music?
mod can.
Like techno and rock, techno rock shit.
That's no, that's not Fallout at all. That's not what Fallout's about.
No,
Well,
he's referring to the Halo mods.
the-
but
the
yeah,
Halo mods.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
better.
is that when you see
Okay, that's better.
an
that's
old
better.
game in the and then you get like newer or say more modern tracks added to it, it just breaks your immersion completely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Can I
I
just
have
say
the feeling
something?
I have the feeling that like the aesthetic of Fallout is very very delicate, and that's why I don't write Fallout. It's because Fallout is just fucking hard. It's
Yeah, the
it's
lore
hard
is
to
just-
it's hard to nail that aesthetic like to the T.
The reason why they have that 50s stuff is because, like, that's the last music that was made, according to the lore, and then the nukes dropped, and no one really gave a shit about like instruments anymore.
anymore,
Just wanted
yeah.
to survive.
Well, yeah, it's just survival.
Surprised that
crap.
jazz isn't a bigger thing. Like jazz was fucking big in the 50s and 40s.
Well,
we
it's
should
not.
be
It's
listening to jazz music with 100%.
it's not that the 50s never went out of style per se. It's more of like this futuristic society kind of just like
Built off
fetishized.
of it.
Yeah, it kind of fetishized 50s behavior.
Of
The
that
old
50s
world
lifestyle.
before the world
Well, yeah.
ended. Because
Well, I mean,
Okay.
the
Fallout is
original-
not like
how-
apocalypse. I'm sorry.
Oh,
What you were
It's-
saying?
Originally Fallout was seen where Bethesda kind of meddled with this, but originally how it was is that it was how people from the 90s envisioned people from the 50s would see how people in the late 2000s would envision the future, and how that future would need to react to becoming a dystopia via nuclear annihilation.
So I hope you realize how fucking hard that is to nail. That fucking
Yes.
that fucking theme. How hard that is to fucking nail. You
Yeah, I
you just
can
described
imagine.
a Herculean task of like jumping through hoops.
Yeah.
And while I'm sure this dev team is extremely talented, they just
Yes.
they weren't able to
They-
do it for me.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
But some good things about Fallout Frontier, I did like how they use their vehicles.
Oh
Yeah, I was
yeah,
about to
the
say that,
vehicles,
actually.
the vehicles
Yes.
handle actually really well.
Well, I do
Like
have
You have a
impressive.
very wide
use.
variety to
How
the
the
factions.
vehicles perform. Oh my god! Like
I don't know how
it-
they even did that, to be
Another
honest.
thing, another thing,
Yeah, I know.
abbreviating, like, you know, the lore behind the scavengers and scavs, they're called scavs. I think the scavs are very, very cool. I think they're a very cool idea. Like, you know, I'm very anti Bethesda calling raiders just bland raider. I hate it whenever I come across like a small gang of NPCs listed as raider. It just makes me feel like there's like they're trying so little. They're not trying hard enough.
There's not enough
Yeah,
substance behind them.
there's not fucking substance behind it. I really like that they kind of just, you know, made them scavs, made them this gang of just like dudes who
Oh yeah, there are some people that are out there in the wasteland that are raiders, but I do see what you mean. There should be variety, and
Mhm.
like there should be some raiders, some scavengers, like how there's prospectors and just regular civilians.
yeah, Vac, you're absolutely right. Vac says like raiders calling themselves raiders and things like that. And you know, I think it's really cool that the scabs, like, you know, are referred to as scabs, and you know that they're not like bland flavor text raiders. Um, I really like that.
Also, something that's commendable: the voice acting.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah,
The
majority
voice
of that
acting
was
is really
very
well
done.
done.
Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't like high end, but it wasn't bad.
Okay,
It
there was
it
one
was
dude. There was
pretty
one dude that I
entertaining.
fucking
for
hated.
for basically for a plug-in for a game, it was stellar.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like
Vec makes a good point about Fallout 76. Vec says that Fallout 76, like the raiders were not like bland. The crater raiders, they're doing it like they're doing this stuff for survival and not because like they're like drugged up or whatever. And I mean that's understandable. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
understandable. Um, however, I'd argue that Fallout 76 has its own myriad of problems. Um,
Yes. But we're not gonna
um,
get in those here.
yeah.
That's not the point.
yeah,
Yes.
one of the things that I fucking hated is that there's this one scene where the courier's being led up this like one massive skyscraper or whatever. And like he's being, you know, like the legionaries are throwing tomatoes at him and shit. Like, you know, I think that's cool. I think that was that was really cool. Atmospherically so, that was cool.
Yes.
However, the announcer was awful. Listening to that guy just like
I haven't heard him.
oh dude, it's it's
You need to put a sample in the video.
I don't wanna like fuck with that guy. I don't wanna make him like feel bad or whatever, but like God,
Yeah.
so awful. It was like he goes, the almighty courier or something like that, and I fucking cringed. Oh my god.
Oh God,
Like
that sounds good.
it made me look, I didn't like it. That was my personal take on that. That's my personal you
So
know,
pretty much, he made a cringe king cringe. Is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes. Yes.
That's impressive. Like that takes some skill.
It was quite interesting. I really like that there were like some Legend of Zelda references that I saw in the game. That was fun. Like for example, there's like a gasoline refilling place, and on like one of the bodies that you uncover, it just has a note, and whenever you read the note, it says, "You've met with a horrible fate, haven't you, courier?" And I'm like, "That's a Zelda reference. That is Zelda. That's Legend of
Yes,
Zelda."
but the references can get kind of bad, like the Solid Snake
You cut out. You cut out. What'd you say?
reference. The
You cut
Solid
out. You
Snake.
cut out.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Some of the references in this has been that some of them can be nice. Like I've seen people have enjoyed the Dick Kickem reference.
Dick kick him.
There's also ones like the Solid Snake reference, which people were just not a fan of, and also like Ghoul Jesus and stuff like that.
Ghoul
which were,
Jesus
like,
is. I'm extremely upset. I'm
Sorry,
made.
Ghoul Jesus.
Ghoul
What
So
the
Jesus.
fuck
that's
happened?
it's okay. So it's supposed to be comedic. It's supposed to be like you must find
supposed to
Jesus, like you know the South Park kind of find Jesus type thing. But
Yes.
in this version, it's you must find Ghoul Jesus. It's supposed to be funny, but the thing
They
is,
nailed a goal to a cross. Is that what they did?
no, they did not nail. They
No.
did not nail a ghoul to a ghoul to a cross. However, that would actually be funny. um,
No, it wouldn't.
it
It
would
would be fucking
it would
horrifying.
be well. They nail you to a cross at one point.
They do.
They do, but you survive. It's weird. And also you see your own character walking along, which made me feel a little weird. Like, you know, just it was like weird to see. at one point. You know?
Yes.
Okay,
But so basically in Ghoul Jesus, basically you uncover like this cult that is eerily reminiscent of the Children of Adam, where basically they worship a nuclear warhead. And
Weird.
yeah, they worship this nuclear warhead and they worship radiation or whatever, and they believe it'll give them eternal life. And they basically tell you that you have to find Ghoul Jesus so that you can make your transition into their cult. And they keep saying like find Ghoul Jesus, like that's like one of the point. That's like one of the points. Is like find Ghoul Jesus, and it's supposed to be funny. It's like find Jesus,
It
but
is. I mean,
except
the one things
yeah, but
you
it's like
can do.
it's like really to me, the joke, like the entire joke, is just like way too stupid to support its own storyline.
Well, yeah.
um,
Literally, you can destroy the religion by having perception 1. Like it's
yeah,
very. It's like it's way too like something I've noticed with the mod is it's very tongue in cheek to the point where it's just like get your tongue out of my mouth. Like
I can feel that.
it's just where it's like okay, I get the joke, I get the reference, please.
You mean they're trying to like hold your hand a little too much?
Well,
Yeah.
no,
the
they're trying to be like this is funny, right? You like seeing this, right? And I'm like,
Oh,
yes,
okay, yeah.
yes, I saw that once. It was very funny the first time I saw it. It's like have it 16 more times.
Something else I thought was kind of cool about what I've read or seen is like flashbacks, like the Helios battle. Did we already
Yes,
talk about
that's
that? But that was cool.
The Helios battle was very, very cool. That was really well put together. That
that
was like
that really was.
In fact, speaking of put
the
together,
part where
something
you had to shoot the dead soldiers or at least the soldiers who were dying was like very, you know,
War crimey.
yeah, it was well. It made me feel bad, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make me feel bad.
It did a good job on the
There's no
emotion.
such thing as a Geneva Convention, so it didn't really.
No, not in Fallout. No.
There's no such
Not
thing as a
involved.
Geneva Convention in general.
I don't think that in Fallout
Prepare to
Geneva
get
was even
nuked.
a thing.
That makes a very good point. She said, "Damn, it's worse than Fallout 2 with pop culture references." Yeah, there is some people brought up where people like, "Oh, well, Fallout 2 a bunch of pop culture references." That's not good. People criticize the game for that. So making more is problematic.
I think
You can
I
go
think
take
that
a
Hold on,
Yakuza
Toby.
approach. I'm sorry. You can take a Yakuza approach with your story in that the main story is very serious, but there is some funny side quest things that make you laugh. But putting those funny things, in the plot itself, that's kind of a no-no. You shouldn't put the comedy so front and center because it kind of makes your actual history lose value. You
mhm.
know a movie that tried to be funny and serious at the same time and completely fell flat on its face?
Okay, all right, go ahead.
The Predator reboot.
Oh yeah, the
You know,
Predator reboot was just kind of terrible. That was awful.
exactly.
You
don't want
see
that to
Michael
happen
Keegan Key
in your
shoot his
game.
best friend in the face while his best friend shoots him in the face. I just thought that wasn't funny and dumb.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, what else?
So
I
in
need
the
to
game,
know what
I thought it was really, and they made a really interesting choice. Instead of having Mirelurks in the game, they added Mirelurks with like a cricket head. Like
Cricket lurks.
these were like cricket, they were like cricket lurks, which I found like that was a really interesting, creative choice. But like, how do cricket lurks like exist in the cold? Like in
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
in the ice.
Them being insects.
There are winter kind of species of cricket that
Oh,
can
really?
survive. Yeah, and they go dormant. I'm pretty sure, but that's how they can survive the winter. That's why
Well,
we have crickets here.
Oh, okay.
I don't think those Murlocs crickets they were dormant, were they?
I mean, I don't really know. The
But I don't know. Like the mutation might have like I don't know
Gave them better
some
warmth.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm probably not the best to talk about this, but I also saw that like we kind of on there's like this one enclave spaceship.
That's what. Yeah, I was getting ready. That's
Yeah. There's like an enclave spaceship that you go into, and it has like a Frank Horrigan clone in it or something.
4 Frank Horrigan clones.
I got a question. How did they not stop Liberty Prime and all that when they just have this giant space station
Yeah,
back in Fallout 3?
I don't know.
Or do they not have that?
Another issue that I had with the game is that like if somebody's gonna find a space station, it's sure as hell not gonna be the NCR.
No,
um,
no.
yeah, the NCR is nowhere near that advanced.
The
That they're.
Enclave makes sense in space since they literally wanted to live on another planet and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But them being in the space station with 4 Frank Horgans, and them,
That
and
that means they've been there for a very long time.
And I
it does.
understand their thinking behind the space station. Like, apparently Fallout 3, the original Fallout 3, was gonna have a space station.
Van Buren, yeah,
Yeah,
was gonna have a space station.
Van Buren was gonna have a space
Honestly,
station.
a space station kind of sounds like over the top, especially considering that House, Mr. House, he had so much power and technology on his hands,
Oh
and
yeah.
he still wasn't able to do pretty much like build a space station or something like that.
Yeah,
And yet
yeah.
these
Well,
and
the
yet
main
these
thing
organizations, they somehow are able to do that. It's
isn't the
it's
space
kind of
supposed to be Archimedes too?
The space station is named
No, that's a
Archimedes 2.
satellite,
It's
isn't it?
named
Isn't it?
Archimedes 2.
Yes,
Which is odd and weird.
because Archimedes is a
Yeah.
laser.
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
Archimedes
satellite
one,
kinda
the
laser.
Archimedes one was like a satellite laser or whatever. Um, and the thing is, like, with that Enclave kind of group of like these fellows from outer space, like, why haven't they tried to make contact with Earth, or like tried
Yeah.
to come to Earth at one point or another?
And I
Which,
do want to bring up my last positive because
Mhm.
we have the Enclave being brought up, and believe me, I have a lot to say about how the mod received them. But I do want to say this one thing, this one other positive:
of course,
the world space. The world
It's
space, I
huge.
would say,
the
was
world
well
space
done.
is massive and it's wonderful.
Yes.
One of
Very,
the
very
things,
open world.
one of
Actually.
the things that I really liked was the idea of Salt Town. Salt Town just seems really cool. It's this entire like thriving society based around this one mine. For a mod, it is amazing. You know, it's a beautiful place. It's a nice. One of my issues was like the enemy spawn rates. Like, I found like a lot of enemies like no matter where I went.
Yes.
like just a shit ton.
it,
That's understandable. Vac
Well,
said for mod the landscape is huge and amazing. It's just so in depth.
it is. It is amazing.
And it's very well done. Also, I really like the new soda that they introduced, the H bomb soda or whatever. I think
Yeah, I heard
I
about
think that was
that.
really cool. I think that was really fucking cool. I thought that was cuz you have
But
in the Midwest.
how lore friendly is it?
I mean,
yeah,
it's
is
Do they
it
have
just
like
a
a
Nuka
backstory
Cola
or
copy?
what's-
no, it's a Nuka-Cola competitor, and which causes Nuka-Cola to create different new sodas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
that
Like,
Vim though?
The backing.
Sounds
the
like a
backing
cool
behind it.
Vim was a
idea, you know?
competitor. Vim was a competitor. So was whatchamacallit, Sunset
Sunset.
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Balls.
So was
Balls.
balls. So was balls. My favorite drink of all time. My favorite thing of all
Oh, yeah,
time. Actually,
balls,
just
thank
balls.
you.
I love balls. I
Talk
love
about
balls
balls
so
soda.
much. I just balls. Just
It's
balls.
all
I
about
need
them
balls
balls.
in my mouth.
Good God.
The
Balls.
taste of balls in my mouth, irreplaceable.
Yeah, I know.
Balls of steel.
Balls. What's not funny is that technically there are balls of steel because the game they come from is Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, God damn it.
Is Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, so it is balls of steel.
Okay, so anyway,
Okay, yeah.
I still
So
need to know what was the kind of rock music that was playing in that scene because I
okay.
am losing my mind.
Should-
look up the training scene from Fallout the Frontier and
Yeah.
you should find it. You should
Oh
find it.
God, I'm scared. Okay, I hope it's
No,
like
do
some
not be
50s
scared.
rock
It's not
music.
bad music. It's not poorly composed music. It's
No,
just
that's the thing. It's not
it's just
about being
rock
bad
music.
music. It's just that it's if it is in if it is entirely out of the Fallout setting,
Yeah. It just
I'm
feels
gonna
out of place. Yeah, feels like
yeah,
But
really out of place.
exactly.
the mod is free. Whether we think it's good or bad, anybody can
Yeah.
still try it without
Yeah,
cost.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The mod
That's a
is
good point.
absolutely
Okay.
fucking
Yeah.
free.
There's no
mod
there's
is
no
free.
Here we
risk for
go.
trying this game
Yeah.
or
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
mod.
listen
You just
to
get
it
it.
and
If
I
you
will
don't like it, you
discover
can
what it
uninstall.
is.
That's the
Uh,
beauty of it.
So like
I'll be back.
another thing that a lot of the people in the community like to bring up is the sex lizards.
Oh yes, the
Oh,
druggy
here we
lizard.
The
go.
That was
trochili,
yeah.
the
a lot of
trochili.
drama about
And
that.
and
Yeah.
I was hoping
Did the
either the
video.
trochili were going to be removed or they were going to be toned down.
Nope. Nope.
The
No.
Trochili
They
were
correct-
about as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It was horrible. Like
I feel like the
it-
voice actors were extremely talented. They just had like they had zero to work with. Like you know the vocal cues of the Trochili, which where they go.
oh, some didn't
That's
even try with
cringe.
guesses. Some just gave up. Like it was.
I think that there are really cool ideas in Portland and in the history of Portland that they could have used, and you know really cool ideas that they did use.
I just don't understand the snake
I don't
people being
understand.
up north.
I don't understand why they died on the hill of the Trochili thing.
Yes.
Like it's not
and-
Skyrim. We don't need
Yeah.
Argonians.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And Vac
But,
says Vac says filthy scalies. I mean, I don't know if they're scalies. I don't really care. I don't really
Yeah,
care.
matters.
What
The
just makes
thing
sense
is-
to
the
me,
thing is with the Trochili- the thing is with the
What
Trochili,
most
right?
people were expecting when they first heard about the lizard people
Mhm.
was, oh, so they got Argonians now. It's more like a Saesi. I don't know what the pronunciation is, but yeah, it's still like a Elder Scrolls race that's supposed to be like on the continent of Akavir, and
Yes.
it just doesn't fit the follow universe by any stretch of the mind. You know, like
Is there
Yeah,
any,
yeah,
is there
shouldn't
any
be there.
lore to their existence?
To the Trochili.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard the song.
So the Trochili come from a vault that apparently over the years of their stay in the vault became these lizard-like creatures who occasionally trade with who do they trade with for drugs? They trade
I
with
just-
so were they
Oh.
human once?
they were
Like,
human once at one
Oh,
point, yes.
I forget
I
the
just-
name, but yes.
How do they become the?
Yeah,
lizard
like in a
people?
span of 200 years, that's not enough evolution time.
Yeah, that's not enough
Yeah.
evolution time, which makes me think like
Especially since what could have helped them, they should. I know they used a model. Literally, they used a basilisk model.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
you know that's great, but all they would have had to done is give. The main thing that gets it for me is they have a lizard tail.
They
where it's
could have.
Like,
Well,
like
They
look,
could have.
look,
They could have
wait,
also
wait, wait.
said that.
Wait, because look, they could have. Because look, the three things we know about the Trochili from like the first point is that A, they are huge fans of drugs. B,
Yes.
they are lizard and they are cold blooded. And C, that they have a emphasized sex drive. Now, if they were able to find a lizard species that they could tie it to that has an emphasized sex drive, that would be really interesting, I guess. But like
or-
that sounds like
or,
a lot
like,
of research to do for like a
not
relatively minor idea.
evolution-wise,
Like a relatively
Yes.
minor idea.
Not
wanted
evolving
to
through
say-
the not evolving through the vaults, more like everyone being experimented on by Vault.
They
Tech and-
were experimented on. I'm
you
pretty
would
sure.
think they would. You think they would retain more humanity than they would.
So
become
Toby,
lizard,
so Toby
that
wanted to
makes
say
sense.
something. Toby, go for it, my friend.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I heard the song from the trainee scene, and it's pretty much the kind of song that you'd hear in Killing Floor.
Yeah.
Killing Floor 1 and 2, that's the exact kind of music, which is, you know, the kind of music that Five Finger Death Punch makes.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, thanks. I'm just
Alright.
joking.
Toby is a
I
stone
mean,
wall,
like,
my
it,
guy.
It just like it's good music, but it just doesn't fit
it
into the
doesn't
whole
fit the
Fallout vibe.
Fallout narrative.
Yeah.
Vac is having a heyday. Vac totally thinks it's a scaly conspiracy.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not on the mod team. I haven't talked to any of the mods or anything like that.
Regardless,
Honestly, let's be honest here. Skellies are not that bad, and neither are furries.
I mean,
Okay,
we
I'm
all
not
know and
qualified to
watch
talk. I'm not
legendaries.
qualified to make an opinion on that.
They
All
tried
that
to make-
working
What
first.
I am going
In my own personal experience.
They tried to make them lore
Okay,
friendly.
wait.
Is
A lot
Yeah.
of people are talking at once. Todd, go ahead.
Yes, lore friendly, great. What I'm talking about is that this part of the mod, it's absolutely absurd. They knew it was absurd. The voice acting, worst is the queen. Oh my god.
Oh
You-
god.
You get insulted for fucking the queen. You get an ability from it, but you still just like, you know.
Wait. What
how
happened to
great.
what happened to the no sex thing? Didn't they say there was no sex in the game?
No, you fuck the queen.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's worse.
And then what happens?
You see Torchili breeders. Like it's this weird thing where it's just like, why? Why
Eyes
is
glow,
this
tell
what
us
you
more.
want Lars developing so much time with?
You could tell the
Yeah,
developers'
that-
motives with
that's-
that.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like you
kind
can
of hard.
tell.
It's kind of hard to deny now. Now that I hear this new stuff,
Yeah.
I haven't completed the game. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but goddamn man, that's fucking crazy.
Yes.
That is quite the interesting experience.
Either way,
To say the
wizard
least.
people have been done to death.
I liked a lot of these new they had like these kind of these large like almost berserker characters, like berserker or behemoth characters who were
Oh yeah,
like
I've seen them. Yeah.
yeah, like the guardian of the temple of fucking Ghoul Jesus. The guardian of the Ghoul Jesus temple is like this massive green fucking ghoul monster, which I thought was really cool. Um, yeah, look, Vac is having a heyday about Scalies and how this is a lot like Scaly fantasy fan fiction, and yeah, I'm
I mean, it
gonna say
100%
that.
is.
It's hard
Like,
to deny. It's hard to deny.
And isn't there a
I-
character named America?
There's a
Oh.
character named America. Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about her for
All
a minute.
right. All right. So this is the character that I know the
Yeah.
least about.
I don't know much about her,
Oh.
but I just know some
She
interesting
is
things.
essentially like there's dialogue where she brings up her stinky feet
Oh.
that she's gonna have to bring out later, which people have attracted to. Someone on the team had
Oh
a foot
no.
fetish, and of course she is a young
Why?
individual.
That,
Blonde.
that
And
doesn't
I think
that doesn't make
I
any
think
like.
she's
Why would they
supposed
even
to be-
add that to where
This
like
yeah,
I
has
don't
no
the stinky
substance to the
feet.
story.
Either way,
Like,
exactly?
no,
He's
no,
like,
it gets
oh,
worse.
we need to go kill blah blah blah.
Okay, it
by
gets
the way, I
worse.
have stinky feet.
Dominic, it gets worse. So of course, and of course we know the horrid scene where she doesn't want to be alone anymore. So there's a speech 100 option where you can enslave her by putting a slave collar on her, and then she refers to you as master.
that is 100%.
That's really
like,
that's really creepy. That's not
Very,
crossing any
very,
weird
very
lines, but that's
fetishy.
really odd. That's an inspired choice.
Yes.
like,
It's just really odd.
they had
In
to go
fact-
out of their
You
way
could
to
really
make
see
this.
that halfway through the mods got really bored and just started adding whatever.
Yes. In
for
fact,
the
if I remember
fetish game.
correctly, that part was getting removed by the mod team. That they were getting rid of that option to do it.
Really.
So, yeah, it was not received well at all. What a surprise.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. There's a lot to unpack. I think that the Crusaders were a really interesting idea. It's a really good idea. It's a really interesting way
What are
of
their motives?
So the
Like-
Crusaders are essentially they were abandoned by the Brotherhood of Steel after the Battle of Helios One, because the Brotherhood was fractured, and essentially they left their lives as Brotherhood of Steel guys, and they gained new lives in New Canaan as essentially war monks. And they basically believe in God, and they believe in God's word, and they believe that God is speaking to them and things like that, and that they should reclaim the holy cities of the wasteland. I
Okay,
think
so just another Crusader meme, pretty much.
they're very crusadery. They're very interesting characters. They hate
Take
both.
back the Holy Land.
They hate both the NCR and they seem to dislike the Legion. They hate the NCR though because the NCR killed them or whatever. But yeah,
Understandable.
they hate the NCR and the Legion, and they kind of just. I mean, one of them. I think the leader thinks that Kimball is like the devil or something, which is understandable. Seeing like the background of the character and the writing of the character and understanding her fascination and obsession with God. It's just like it's. I think it's a really interesting idea. I think it's a really cool idea. I like how outside of their base they have just two giant protectrons, with
Yeah.
with like the cross. They're holding like a giant cross. I think that's
Which
really
is odd. It's cool, but
it's an odd choice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's odd, but it's kind of cool.
It's a cool
Yeah.
thought. I think. Vac says any cults in there with the exception of the BOS. You call it filler content. I mean, if you think of it that way, that's how you think of it. I think the Crusaders were really cool. I think if it would be better if they were called the Inquisitors of Steel instead of the Crusaders of Steel, just because like the Inquisition was such a much bigger driving force than just the Crusades and things like that. The Inquisition just
Yeah.
sounds cooler too. Just um,
Yeah, like Warhammer. Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Professor would
I
know what
have
I'm
the
talking
feeling.
about,
I have the feeling. I have the feeling that there was a big inspiration from Warhammer there. Actually,
Oh, probably.
Maybe.
Yes.
A lot of things are
fight and die for the Emperor.
pretty much.
Oh yeah. All right. Does anybody else have anything else they want to share?
Oh,
Well, I
yes.
do have a bit. I'm sorry, you go first. Mine is not
Yes,
that
I wanted to
interesting.
get to this earlier, and we will get to yours next, Toby.
Absolutely.
I just want to get this one out of the way. The Enclave, because we brought them up earlier,
The Enclave.
but I want to talk about where it was discussed about how the Enclave is solely a one-dimensional power fascist fantasy, and that there is nothing to them, while these are the same people who enjoy the
This-
Legion.
This seems
Hey.
kind of like faction.
Okay.
The mod team kind of sounds like a faction biased community.
Well,
They are.
it's probably true. That's probably true. I see a lot of favoritism being played. However, here's how I kind of view it: is that the Enclave isn't like the Enclave. Sure, like they're designed to be bad guys, but their entire philosophy is very based on they're extremely reclusive. They're extremely like their own organization, and they don't let anybody in. Like that's the big part of it, and I think they handled the Enclave, or at least they have like a flawed understanding of the Enclave. It's
Oh,
never personal
flawed.
for the Enclave. It's never personal.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from the mouth of King of Saturday. The philosophy is very base.
The based philosophy, based, so based. I love the Enclave because they're based. I want you to unload your
Yes.
minigun inside of my body, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh no. I know what you're saying, but I don't appreciate it.
Here's the thing about the
Monetization will
Enclave.
never
They're
happen.
such a evil faction overall that when Bethesda had their hands on them, they weren't exactly very uncharacteristic of them.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
that's how bad the Enclave is.
Well, we're
Because
not because sorry, go ahead.
No, you
of
you
course.
go on.
Vac says you're not meant to join the Enclave. They are the bad guys after all. What I'm saying is that I'm not like complaining because I can't join the Enclave. It just seems like the mods don't, or the fellows working on the mods have a fundamental misunderstanding of what the Enclave are. Like it's not supposed to be a power fantasy. It's not supposed to make you feel like the Enclave are awesome or whatever. It's supposed to be fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like an extreme critique of like the executive government. Like the cold fucking way people handle shit.
Aren't the Enclave the remnants of the American government?
They're the remnants of specifically the army, a few military contractors, and the executive government. Now, in the Fallout universe, the government is not the same as the one that we know today. The executive branch is way more powerful than it is today. It basically makes all the other branches look like garbage. Like checks and balances. Checks and balances do not exist.
That's pretty much like nearly dictatorship then.
Yes, that's nearly a
Yes,
dictatorship,
that
and that's what the Enclave is a critique of. The Enclave is like a massive critique of like this, higher government kind of think, where like people think that like you can solve every problem with the CIA or the DEA or the NSA, things like that, the FBI.
Oh God, I
so-
fucking hate the CIA. They're so bad.
So, in theory, Fallout happening, like nuclear annihilation, was a good thing.
If it happened, in
Yes.
Mexico only,
Absolute
yes.
power.
No, I'm kidding.
And Canada.
I'm kidding. But
Okay, so I
No, because
Okay,
remember at that
so,
point Canada already got annexed. So also
Oh,
Mexico
yeah,
was
right.
annexed as well. I don't know what you're talking about, King.
Why the heck did they even do that?
Oh, they
They
annexed
asked nicely, and the
they
Canadians
annexed
couldn't
Canada
resist.
because of the fact that Alaska was being
Resources.
attacked, and they essentially just wanted to make sure that they had control of the continent.
Wow,
That
thanks,
America-
guys.
America had
Thanks,
control of the
America.
continent. Continent. Also, remember,
we asked nicely, and the Canadians just said, "Okay."
I think Canada.
It's
I
like,
think
all right.
Canada in this universe also has oil reserves or something, and oil was a hot,
Yes.
like a hot commodity.
Yeah, all the world's resources are
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
dwindling.
Canada doesn't even exist. Remember, Canada does not exist. Fuck Canada.
What happened to
Not
Yeah,
even
Canada?
today.
I don't exist.
What happened to Canada in the Fallout universe?
To Canada in the Fallout universe, it becomes the 51st state of America. That's why
Oh
there's
my
one.
god,
That's why there's one really big star on the flag, and it's surrounded by all the other stars.
that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus.
And also in the beginning of Fallout 1, you can see rebellions like Canadian rebellions just being casually put down on the television. Just like you can see US government soldiers just casually like waving
Yeah,
at the
the
camera
trooper
and
just
then
casually
shooting a
waving at the
Canadian in the
Oh,
camera.
head.
is that what that was? I
Yeah.
thought,
That's what that
Yes.
was.
Yeah, that was a Canadian getting shot in the back of the head.
That was a
Wow.
Canadian.
y'all don't realize us Canadians are a little tougher than you think. I don't know how well
You're
they
really
stand
good
up.
at your heads are really good at absorbing bullets. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm fucking
was
with you.
yours.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Yes, we're aware, Arthur. Regardless,
my
I just
internet
want to bring
cut
that
out.
up because it just hearing that statement come out of their mouth. Well, it's the same
There we
mod
go.
where you can play as the Legion, which had less development than the Enclave. Which, yes, I know there's nuance to Legion. I'm glad it's there, but just hearing that come out of their mouth, where they were just like, "Oh, they're one-dimensional power fantasy fascists," I'm just like, "Okay, sure, yeah."
Like the entire like I have the feeling
I really
feeling
wanna
that
add
they
this
said that.
before
I have the
we
feeling that they
gloss
made
over
that
the American
statement.
stuff.
No, but they made that statement because of the fact that they wanted to kind of make a statement about people who want to join the Enclave. Like, if you want to join the Enclave, you inherently have
Yes.
this want to become a proto-fascist power man, which is just
Yes,
not
this-
true. Sometimes it
the
just
same
feels good
argument
to be
of-
bad.
Really quickly before the full America annexing Canada
Mhm.
thing just goes away. That's the American dream. We finally manifested the rest of our destiny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
all because I've heard somebody make like because there's a lot of technology in Portland that just isn't seen anywhere else in the wasteland, right?
Yes.
And I've heard the argument made that like Portland's full of all this technology and weapons and shit, because of the fact that they were trying to repel a Canadian invasion or something. That doesn't really make any sense because Canada's
Why
pretty.
would Canada just go
Can-
after Portland and Portland alone?
Yeah, Canada's kind of just like, got its head firmly under the grasp of an American boot in this universe.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't get it. You know?
We've got a pretty strong chokehold on Canada in this universe.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, at least you and I are now
I know.
you and I are now kin under the flag. Am I right, Bear?
I guess so.
A brother in arms.
Kin under the flag, man.
So,
At least I get the
Can
Second
I-
Amendment.
Ah,
okay, so now I have something to say.
Yes.
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the peak of female character design has been achieved
Oh
this
boy.
week.
Oh boy.
Actually,
Oh,
has
let's
been
go for it.
achieved like the moment it got revealed, but
Big-
you all know what it is.
Oh
no?
my God! Big mommy milker vampire lady.
Oh, I don't like her.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I gotta
It's-
say,
it's-
Resident Evil just gave us, a lesson. All of us and other companies on marketing. You don't base your marketing on the achievements, on the technical achievements of your game, on its gameplay, on the
Appeal
suspense,
to
on
the
the horror.
sweaty nerds
No,
that want to
You
see Booba.
base the main attraction of your whole game on the design of those big
On
mommy milkers.
boobies, because
That's
gamers are
boobies.
shallow. Gamers are shallow. I've got one hand on the controller and one hand around my cock. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
Here's the thing
I
you
mean,
guys
too.
aren't realizing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing you guys aren't exactly realizing. This is Resident Evil. This is the biggest, longest running horror series in the entire history of gaming. Like
Oh, yeah.
Silent Hill died about 7 years ago,
Mhm.
and nothing has come close to the scale, the dimension of Resident Evil.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
everybody knows that Resident Evil always has that one character that follows you around, that chases you
mhm.
so many times. The last games all had that. Resident Evil 7 had you being followed by the Baker family.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2, there was like the Mr. X. You guys all saw
Mr.
the
X,
memes.
the Nemesis on
Also,
3.
And now you have this big lady that everybody knows it's going to be following you around, and not only her, but
Milky,
apparently her daughters as well.
Milky,
And also,
The
if you play
question
Milky.
is,
Resident,
who wouldn't
and
want to
also if
get
you
caught?
play
Let's
Resident
be
Evil
honest here.
7, you know very well that what the gameplay is about. But there's also some of their additions, like the Duke. The
Okay.
merchant. The merchant makes a comeback.
Hmm.
I'll buy
I,
it at a high
I've
price.
I've never played any Resident Evil
Never.
in my
Well, you're
life.
Oh,
missing out, man.
But which
I
ones
think
Like,
would you
Resident
recommend?
I think Resident
well,
Evil is really fun.
the two
here's,
remaster, definitely.
here's the thing. You should play Resident Evil One, the remake. The remake of Resident Evil One, because it's the scariest of them all. It's like it's so intense. The atmosphere will freaking it will destroy you because it's so intense and strong. And also you should definitely play, if you can, you can emulate Resident Evil 2 and 3, the original ones for the PS1. I did it. I do not regret it. Think they're amazing games. I think that the remake for both Resident Evil 2 and 3 are amazing on their own aspects, and you can definitely play the two of them, like
Amen.
the original games and the remakes.
But let's be real here. Like the development of the Resident Evil movies, like you can say what you want about them, they changed the way that Resident Evil used to operate. Like they changed it like fundamentally. Like Resident Evil
Yeah,
went from being such like a weird zombie gritty zombie series to like being this over the top fucking crazy like fucking misadventure that's like, full of karate
I
and kung
I do
fu.
like the challenge that Resident Evil did put on. Like you could shoot a zombie two or three times on the head, and that fucker will still come after you. That's what upset me. That's why I never played one.
Now,
But I do like that challenge
now Vac says
compared to other
you can
horror
shoot
games.
big titty vampire lady. Now, here's my issue with the big titty vampire lady because yes, she is attractive, whatever, but
Why
th-
shoot her?
that's
Just
not no,
seduce.
that's not a Resident Evil theme. That's not Resident Evil to me. I don't know. It seems
What,
like
shooting the?
no, no, no,
That's
no,
the
no,
thing. You
no, no, no.
can
Having the character in the first place just doesn't seem like Resident Evil to me.
really.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
mean,
I don't know. Maybe I
you,
haven't played
Well,
enough
you can
Resident
say
Evil.
that, but yeah,
here's
and
the
you gotta
thing.
see like what's
You know,
the
a
backstory to the
tyrant.
character and
Yeah,
what
yeah,
their
yeah.
That's the thing.
motivations are and stuff like that, and that
Can I
would.
say something?
Yeah, of course,
Like
of course.
a tyrant-based villain is something that has been a staple of the series for a long time.
Hmm.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I think that all the protagonists of the series have at one point or another been followed by this big, massive Hulk of
Yeah.
with full of muscle and bones that is just following you around, and you can only slow it down like very slightly. You shoot it, you put it down, and then it comes back and attacks you again.
Hmm.
That's something that has happened in like I can name the Resident Evils that happened before.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Okay,
that's
so it
understandable.
happened like so. The big titty lady. Also her name is her name is Alfina Dimitrescu.
Dimitrescu?
She's Romanian. She's Romanian.
Ah,
As most vampires are.
yet another
So here's
country to nuke. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
yeah.
That's where
Another one
So
on the
here's the
list.
thing.
Romania is where Transylvania is.
So big, dangerous enemies that you cannot put down by conventional means is something that happens a lot in this series. And that lady is definitely going to be the new one in the long list, along with her daughters.
All right.
And the funny thing is that her daughters actually reminds me of Margaret Baker. Margaret Baker, which was on Resident Evil 7. She was this big lady that was full of insects and all sorts of
Whoa.
bugs and such. Yeah, like Resident Evil 7 was when the series decided to go
Yeah,
real serious again.
really serious and really dark.
Yeah, after Resident Evil 6 was like pretty much a Michael Bay movie.
Mhm. Mhm.
So Resident Evil 7 was like a very fucking disgusting game. It had so much gore, so much violence, so much awful stuff happening. It really brought the series back to its roots in disgusting people. And Marguerite was a woman that was infected with a new type of bioweapon that
Mhm.
made her kind of sensitized to bugs and bees and sometimes centipedes as well.
All right.
And when you fight her in a boss battle, her arms are mutated, elongated. She looks like a freaking bug herself, like kind of like a spider. She's crawling on the walls, and her weak spot is a nest of bugs that is situated precisely on her vagina.
Whoa. Okay.
You have to,
That's quite the placement.
Yeah,
in my
that's
yeah, you
opinion.
have
fucking
to.
crazy, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Resident Evil 7 also has Jack Baker, which
Mhm.
is you probably saw the meme, right? Welcome to the family, son. Which
Yeah.
is like this dude in a yellow shirt and jeans. He pretty much like that game was pretty much like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a family, which was a family of cannibals, and they also they kidnap people and they infect them to turn into the molded, which is the enemy that you fight in the game. So basically, if you don't get eaten by them, they turn you into a horrible zombie thing that is reminiscent of the regenerator from Resident Evil 4. You guys know the regenerator from Resident Evil 4, which was the scariest thing in the game?
I actually haven't played Resident Evil 4. I think I've played the remake of 2 and the remake of 3. I think that's the one that
Okay,
I've
so
played.
the remake of 3?
I think so. Is that's
Okay,
the
so
new one? That's the newest one, right?
yeah, that's the newest one.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the newest
yeah.
one. I show what the regenerator looks like on the voice chat.
Oh, okay.
Is there any new games that have come out or are being teased?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the 8th installment of the series.
yeah, it's coming out this May.
Yeah.
And also, that's the thing. There have been like 3 games released in like 4 years.
Mhm.
That's incredible considering this is not a yearly release at all in the series.
I'm just talking about just any game in general.
I really want to
Yeah,
see
so
the next Elder Scrolls. I'm really ready to play the next Elder Scrolls. I'm tired of
Yeah,
looking.
no,
I'm tired
I'm
of playing
No,
Skyrim.
brother, no. I'm
I'm
so
tired
of
stoked
playing
for that.
Skyrim.
man,
No.
we know
I'm tired
fuck
of
all
Todd
about
just
Elder Scrolls.
re-releasing.
We don't know absolutely
Well,
nothing about
y'all
Elder
better hold on
Scrolls
to
at
your
the moment.
knickers, because this being the 10th anniversary of Skyrim on November,
It's
they
time
are
for
sure
a
as hell gonna
re-release.
release
Oh,
another
Oh god.
Time.
like celebration edition or anniversary edition, whatever you
Skyrim
want to
for the
call it.
PS5 and the Xbox new one.
Oh my
I
god.
The naming sequences for the Xbox is so fucked
At
up.
this point, the entire game of Skyrim has become a chore for me. None of it is fun. None of it is fun. I just sit there.
Never was.
I'm interested to see what they do with TS6, but I'm not holding out for it. It's I don't know. After all they've done, I mean, Starfield will be a look into how they're feeling right now, and if that's not good, I'm completely gonna bounce out. I'm
I'm-
not gonna.
But then there's the fact that now that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, maybe there's a silver lining. You know, that Microsoft will whip them into shape so that they'll
Not
shoot
inherently.
themselves in the foot.
Or
If you
maybe
I-
make them
look
use
up-
a
It
new
is. I
engine.
know it's not like a given, or it's not um,
I don't really
granted
think that's
for a
gonna
fact
happen,
that
man.
they're gonna save Bethesda from
No.
themselves, but it's one silver lining, if anything. Like otherwise, you would be looking at a very grim perspective of what's gonna happen in the future.
Microsoft
but,
was a bad influence on Bethesda. They almost made them more money mongering than they were. And also,
Really?
I give you the example of Amazon and Twitch. People thought Amazon acquiring Twitch would have made the platform better.
Oh no, that was never a great idea. That was never.
Yeah,
a good idea.
yeah.
Whoever got that idea has no idea what they were
If
talking
you
about.
if
So
you feed a cash
I-
cow to a cash cow, that's not a good idea.
Reminds
way,
me
I
of when
don't-
Facebook bought the Oculus Rift. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
happened like 80 years ago, I thought, and people were making jokes then, and now we are getting the fruits of that. Like people knew it was going to be bad, and then it died down, and now that we're back on the situation, we just, we were warned, and nobody listened.
Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen,
Then-
Vac has made a hot take.
What?
Vac says Red Dead Redemption 2 was the best game that they released since GTA 4.
Oh
Rockstar.
yeah.
I mean, Rockstar?
One of
Speaking
the-
Rockstar, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
No,
Yeah,
Red
definitely.
Red
mean,
Dead
I don't
Redemption
know.
2.
I have not played Red Dead Redemption 2.
I
don't know
have
that
a
game.
lot.
I
It was
love
way
Red Dead.
better. The story was leagues above GTA 5, in my opinion. The
Yes,
I
graphics are
think the
leagues
story.
definitely.
I think
above.
the story was
way
way
above
bigger than
Like
GTA
GTA
5.
5.
the map is
What-
leagues above GTA 5. Like it's just better in every
You
way.
You want to know
many
the funny
random
thing about?
encounters and
I'm
so
sorry.
much diversity to just the gameplay.
You guys want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Sure.
The video game donkey, the YouTuber, he just made Red Dead Redemption 2 his best game of 2020.
Really.
Because that's the thing with that guy. He doesn't give a shit about the regular conventions of a top 10 or even a best of the year list. He will straight up put like a game that was released in the 90s and put it on his list because it's the game that he
Super
cared about
Mario
the most
World
in
2,
this year.
baby.
Yeah, he made that joke too. The thing also as well is that he put like he gave the game 3 out of 5 when he first reviewed the game, saying how the story was disjointed and that it went for too long and it kind of was weird at times. But the thing is that he played the game like 2 other times. He played the game 3 times entirely, and he pretty much like says that the history of the game is amazing. And also, he's the type of guy apparently that goes back on his word kind of often because he used to criticize The Last of Us 1, saying that it was kind of boring, but then he came to realize that the story was good. And that's probably why he thinks that The Last of Us 2 is so good now because he actually put it on number 2 of his best, no, number 4 on his best of the year list.
Nikki Jakey actually has a really good opinion on The Last of Us 2, in my opinion. Like
It does.
he has a really good take.
Like, I feel like overall, like the game is like a stick.
I just
out
don't
of-
think that game deserved Game of the Year.
It's
it did not.
okay, but it's nowhere near The Last of Us 1. That's
the problem
all
with
I'm
the
gonna
Last
say.
of Us, the problem with the Last of Us is that it overworked its theme to a very compromising degree. It was not good at all. It should not have gotten the best price for, the price
No,
for best.
not at all.
It should not have gotten the price for best direction because the direction was shit.
Yep.
So
Um,
Among
overall,
other things, but yeah, I'd say like, uh, well, I'm not gonna say it's shit. It obviously isn't. It has its good moments and stuff, but
yeah.
it's not on the level of the first game. That's all there is to it.
I really did. I've watched the entire game through of Last of Us 1, and then I started watching gameplay of Last of Us 2. Did not like how they went with the storyline, or it just fell off.
which is
It
why
just
the best game of
because The Last of Us 2 has a really interesting combat mechanics where like everything feels fast paced and like almost like fun to like kill these people and throw knives at them and like shoot them, right? Like it's stylistic. But
almost
that
fun.
no, but look. Here's the thing. It clashes with itself. Like the themes clash with itself because these characters you're supposed to feel bad for killing, but like you're supposed to like see it from the other side that like they had families or whatever and like they had babies and things like that. Like, but the thing is like the gameplay is so stylistic and smooth in these moments in the beginning. Like I picked up on the fact that like some of them were crying out for each other and like some of them were trying to crawl to each other or whatever. I just didn't fucking care. It was just like Nakey Jakey says the goopy goblin brain. I definitely had the goopy goblin brain, and I was just out there fucking killing people.
Yeah, I
Nice.
bet that must have been fun. Like, I think that that's what Naughty Dog really needs to make like a game that is oriented about combat and make a story that fits around that.
Mm, mm.
And that's why Bugsnax is the best game of 2020.
Bugsnax. I actually haven't played that game yet. I need to.
Like, that's a big game. I actually played a game and I thought it was pretty great overall because it was like a cute little charming game that also had like something of a scary, a deep story with it as well. Like,
Oh.
you guys know Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
aware of him.
He actually said how the game is. He doesn't exactly know if he can call it a child's game because the characters have like this very adult and actually kind of sad relationship with each other as well. Like they're not child characters at all. These people are people with real emotions and problems. And this is a game about eating bugs that look cute, but you know, here's the thing: you need to play the game or watch the story of it to really understand how this game like really does with its plot, because it goes in a direction that I would say it's fucking courageous.
Oh yeah.
But then again, the way that the game was planned anyway, that was the only direction it could possibly go, and they freaking nailed the direction of it.
All right, lit. I like it. I like it. I'm definitely
So
gonna check it out.
what's your take on the best game of 2020?
Fallout: The
Go.
Well,
Frontier.
I think that the best
Okay.
game of 2020 is
Fallout: The
actually.
Frontier.
I'm pretty sure that the best game of 2020 is actually Hades, because everybody loves Hades.
I don't.
Honestly,
Yeah, people love
I
Hades.
on my hot take of the best game of the year, I honestly
I
think
haven't even played
Portal
Hades.
2, without a doubt.
I
I
have not.
I hate roguelikes. I hate roguelikes. It's fucking hard.
Hey, I'm gonna have to leave
Roguelikes.
real soon.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
back real soon. Okay.
All right, all right. All right, Toby, we love you, man, and we hope you come back eventually. I
All right,
don't
see you later.
I don't
He's
really
already
like
gone.
yeah, I just was saying that for future reference or whatever. But I mean, I don't really like roguelikes. They're just so hard. They're so fucking tough. Um isn't Hades like a roguelike or something, right?
No,
Yeah,
it's a
it is.
roguelite.
Well,
Okay.
There's a difference. In a
Oh.
roguelike, you lose all process. In a roguelike, you retain some of that process. And here, the latter is what happens, where you might, throughout your game, each of your runs, you might get currency that you buy to improve, maybe the weapons that you have, or the items that you've got, or
Mhm.
your abilities overall, or your stats, if you will. And it's also brilliant in the sense that for a small company such as Supergiant Games to be so consistent with the quality of their games, and to be able to do so much with so little,
Yeah.
whereas you have this massive companies with thousands of people and millions of budget in their pockets, and my god, they just where does all of that money go? That's my question.
Now, here's my favorite game of the year, and God, it's just such a magical experience. I'm a huge fan of Earthbound, right? I'm a huge fan of Earthbound. I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
Mother 3. I'm a huge fan of all those types of like, cutesy little games that have like a deeper connection to them. And like, you have like these kids kind of adventuring and losing their innocence and understanding who they are and things like that. But, I played this game Omori. Now it advertises itself
Oh
as
yeah,
like
I
yeah, as like
suggested it to you.
yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah, my
yeah.
boy.
He suggested to me, the professor did, and I played Omori, and it starts out all cutesy and shit. Your character lives inside of a stump in the woods, and he's going to play with his friends, and like they live in like this rainbow world, but like just out of the corner of the screen, you can see that like this rainbow cat, the eyes are just following your character. But you don't really pay attention to it. You keep going on, and you keep going on and hanging out with your friends and things like that. You go and play hide and seek, but then you realize that like one of your friends like hasn't been found. Like you have no idea where this person is. And then the facade starts melting away. You start seeing this pattern of like bloody footprints on the floor. And these bloody footprints lead further and further into the forest as these dark hands crawl onto the screen. And suddenly, like it's really interesting. Like your character just kind of fucking dies, and he wakes up, um, in like a white room, where like basically your character finds a knife and just stabs himself with it, and um, it's really interesting to me because it's one of the few games that has actively made me distrust the main character in combat scenarios. Because this rainbow world is revealed to be a dream world. It's your subconscious world where basically you go on adventures with your friends, and it's almost exactly how it was whenever you were children.
What are we
Like
talking about?
Omori. Oh, welcome Lackaboy to the Cringetopia podcast. Um,
A
Lackaboy,
retard
welcome.
game.
Okay, but no. Omori is awesome. Omori is fantastic. Um, and in Omori, essentially, you play as the quiet kid. you play as the quiet kid.
That
And
sits in the corner of the classroom.
yeah. And I actively was afraid of the main character because there are in real life sequences where the main character is battling with this knife, and you can actually potentially hurt people in real life. It just made me feel really, it made me feel a lot of different emotions. It was a really interesting game, really fun time, and that's my favorite
What?
game of the year. It's my favorite game of the
I
year.
think Omori is really good. Like it is oozing originality
Absolutely.
everywhere. For the tried and true formula
RPG.
of JRPGs.
Oh, yeah.
Especially JRPGs,
Oh, yeah.
and I really liked it. The only reason I don't put it like higher on my personal list is that it came so late on the year. It came out on Christmas actually, and I'm definitely gonna play it, and I'll sure as hell give it like a honorary mention on my 2021 list. But yeah, man, it's just it pulls the rug from right under your feet in all the right ways. Like at any second, you'll be asking yourself if what you're doing is right, and yet you you have many options in terms of the paths you follow throughout the game, and I think it's just amazing. You know what? A little creativity
Yeah.
and a little trying, for to go for something new, different, and original does
Absolutely.
for the gaming scene as a whole.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Omori is just a fantastic fucking game. I'm very, very jealous. I was never able to create a story like that, and it's just a beautiful time. It's just a fun
I
time.
guess there's a new game I'm adding to my wish list then.
It's
'Cause
gonna
you
make
guys
you
haven't
cry.
quizzed
It's
me.
gonna make you cry and shit your
Yes.
pants.
Oh,
It's gonna make you
Yes.
cry and shit your pants. I almost shit
Oh,
myself while
great.
playing it. It's
I like
horrifying.
shitting my
It's genuinely
Both one-
horrifying.
Both are one of the most best feelings you could get in the game.
Oh yeah, man. All right. Who's next? Does anybody else want to share their favorite game of the year? Professor. Professor, what was your favorite game of the year?
I'm all the way Team Hades. Don't hate
Alright.
me for that. It's
I'm
just that
hating
I
you 'cause you're
respect.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you, my boy. Maybe if you got rid of the yee ass haircut.
Oh
Nah,
my
I'm
god,
kidding.
no!
Yes.
Okay, so
No.
the thing is that another game I recommend, and it's probably not a last year game. Thanks to my boy Burn Northman over here,
Ew,
I
yeah.
really got into Mechanicus. I love that. I just
Oh
recently got into
yes.
the whole Warhammer 40k universe as a whole. Like the lore is out there, it's crazy, and Mechanicus came out in 2018, but it's a fantastic game in
So
every
wait,
single
what the fuck is
aspect.
it
Like I
about?
loved
Like,
it.
what's it about?
Okay, so you play. There's this cult in Warhammer. They are the machine cult. They worship the machine,
Okay.
the machine god, the Omnissiah or whatever. They're called the Mechanicus, and basically their whole goal in the universe is to go and just discover technologies and like document things and stuff like that, and like
That
collect
reminds
valuable
me
data.
of Group.
Okay.
And
Alright.
and there's these they've always feuded with these I guess I don't know if you call them a species, but they're called the Necrons, and they're pretty much like robot guys, right? And I'm a little fuzzy on the lore here,
Alright.
but anyway,
Okay, so let me help
Mechanicus-
you out. The thing is that the Mechanicus only looks for technology. No one really invents anything at this point in history due to the fact
No.
that they believe, like
Yeah.
they religiously believe that everything has been invented already, and that delving, further into the realm of science and technology is heresy, straight up. So they'll probably put a bullet in you, if not turn you into like a mindless robot
servitor, yeah.
servant. Yeah. So
And,
on the other
okay,
hand,
I'm
you
back,
have the
sorry.
Necrons, which are imagine the Terminator T1000, but made into a whole species. Like every single member of a race got turned into a Terminator, and their only purpose is to just kill everything else.
Okay.
yeah, they want to take over the galaxy because they thought it was their rightful like property, I guess. Isn't that right?
Robots having
Yeah,
a good
they've
time.
been.
Well, they used to be
Um,
living beings at one point,
Okay.
but then they got
They were
casted
living
into
beings.
robot bodies.
They were jealous of another species
So-
because the other species has like terribly long lifespans, and these guys are suffering in their radiated world, and they have very short lifespans. So they're like, please give us longer lives. The other species is like, hell no, and they
Yeah.
go to war. They find a like some you could call maybe like what's it like, Bear? Like the Catan, like
Uh,
this godlike entity. Let's call it a godlike entity.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
it-
godlike
yeah.
entity. They put it on a machine, and these guys, of course, the Catan are like, okay, we're gonna help you, but here's what you've got to do. You've got to turn all your people into machines, and they're like, okay, we'll do it. And as they do it, the Catan are actually feeding on the souls of the Necrons, so they are kind of betrayed. They achieved their objective in the end. They managed to become like this race of
Gods, pretty much.
Terminators.
Yeah.
They're
So pretty much they sold their own souls to become immortal.
Okay.
yeah, to become immortal
All right.
Terminators,
All right,
and
all right.
and they realized at some point, their leader realized, and they're like, hell no. They turn on the Catan. Eventually they go into their like tomb worlds, which are built in the whole aesthetic of the old Egyptian pharaohs and shit. And they're gonna go to sleep because they think, okay, we're immortal now, so we just gotta wait out until the rest of life on the universe dies. At some point in the late future, they're awoken, and they're like, hey, there's still people here. There's still things living out there, and we demand that we are the rightful proprietors of the universe because we've been here for longer than any of you newcomers. And so they start waking up and they start killing everything in their sights.
Yeah, that isn't them, pretty much. And
Alright.
the entirety of Mechanicus is you're the Mechanicus, and you go to the tomb worlds, and you're like you're gathering data on certain parts of the tombs, and like it's quite elaborate actually. There's a lot to it that's hard to explain that if you don't know the lore. But it's kind of like a top-down view, turn-based game.
Okay.
And
Alright,
it's
cool.
all strategy. Yeah.
Lit. I like that.
It's turn-based strategy. You set up your squad. You give them like equipment. You give them like you position them in your field or map, you could call it, and you go by turns.
Yeah, like Warhammer
also,
in real life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ew.
Like the game, yeah.
Also, the thing. One of the things that I like the most about it is the whole aesthetic, which is like this
And the soundtrack.
futuristic. The
Oh,
soundtrack is brutal. The aesthetic is this futuristic, but with heavy gothic tones to it, and it's all filled with skulls. Feels very machine-like. You have floating skulls with cybernetic implants floating around, and these are your
oh yeah,
servitors, stuff like that.
servo skulls. Those are quite important, actually.
Alright.
And the other thing is that one thing that actually surprised me and that I really enjoyed is the fact that okay, you start the game and you see that some members of the Mechanicus are talking between themselves, and you hear them and they're talking like in binary tones, like sort of the shit your modem, the noise
Yeah,
that your modem would make, like weird stuff. And you're like, okay, so is this how they talk? And suddenly the Necrons start waking up and they speak in English, and you're like,
yeah,
what?
and it's weird.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
It's weird because it makes you feel like you're playing the aliens here, where the Necrons are speaking in English and the Mechanicus are like so into their cult of the machine that they actually see the flesh as an imperfection, and they strive to replace as much as they can of themselves with machines, to the point where they can sort of interface with machinery and start speaking in like
like they can feel.
binary tones, codes, Morse, stuff like that. And the first time you hear the Necron speak, you're like, oh shit, so this is the voice acting for the Mechanicus I've been listening to all along. It's
It
fucking
makes you
amazing.
feel like the alien. Like it makes you feel like you're not supposed to be there, and you're the one that's invading.
This
you
this
are.
whole Warhammer thing just kind of took over.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
derailed.
I'm
It,
sorry.
well,
sorry,
it's
man, I'm
cool.
sorry. It's
No,
really
no,
good.
it's fucking cool
It's
that you
really
guys
good.
love this kind of topic. It's gonna really appease the Warhammer players out there.
Oh yeah, we'll get some
Fucking
discussion. in the
losers.
comments.
Fucking losers.
Wow!
All
Wow!
of you. Fuck them. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, sorry, I have a diverse range of games I play.
Yeah, only people who
Hell yeah.
play
I don't just play Fallout.
only people
just
who
joking.
play the games that I play are cool, and everybody who doesn't play the games that I play is a loser.
That's like every
You're a
eighth
loser.
grader. Like,
Oh yeah, well my dad owns Microsoft and he's gonna ban your Xbox.
Dude, my dad could kick the shit out of your dad.
Oh, I used to have that discussion when I was in kindergarten, but my dad could destroy all of their dads.
What was like the
No, this is like
the
Pokemon dad edition.
argument ending quotes in elementary school? Mine was just, "I know you are, but what am I?"
I hate you. I hate
Oh,
you.
I hated that one. That one really made me mad for no reason.
my
too.
argument ender was probably like cuz I'm not like you guys. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm kind of just an idiot. You know, I would kind of just be like, if somebody was like, Arthur sucks, or Arthur eats cow turds, or they were like Arthur's a piece of shit, I would kind of just be like, yes, but
So they
actually
said that in
no.
kindergarten.
Yes, but actually no. Like, you know, like I wouldn't be able to know what to come up with. I was majorly the guy who was just dumbfounded. I was like, he really just said that to me.
Yeah, I was never great at arguments back in the day, but
Vac says Arthur's a
I rem-
Jew. Yeah, that's true.
I remember
It
I
is true.
haggled a guy for a bunch of his god cards for like a bunch of shit tier Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
that's
Gave
impressive.
him like the worst of the worst and told him they were amazing.
Dude, Pokemon cards were the shit back in the day.
What happened to
Pokemon.
Pokemon cards?
What
My
happened to
mean
people?
Pokemon
Pokemon?
cards? Pokemon, the only Pokemon. Pokemon.
Pokemans. That's what my dad says.
There's Pokemon cards.
Pokemon.
Oh no!
This is
Hell
Pokemon.
no!
That's like saying there are Pokemon cards and 4chan cookies.
Wait,
Oh
4chan
my God.
cookies?
That's
What?
terrible.
4chan cookies. Yeah, it's awful. It's fucking awful. I know.
Don't try them. They're
Nazi
worse than those
cookies.
Harry Potter candies with random flavors.
They
They're
taste
worse.
salty.
Oh wait, the vomiting kid. The vomiting kid.
Oh, I hate that meme, but I love it, and
Oh
it's
yeah, it's amazing. It's
Him
awful. It's
playing
fucking
Bean
awful.
Boozled.
The Bean Boozled vomiting guy. Oh yeah. Can we talk about how I had a phase where I was like a huge fan of Ron Perlman, like a massive
I
fan of
forgot
Ron
who that
Perlman?
person was. Who is he?
War.
What was that?
War
war
never
never
changes.
changes.
Oh,
War.
that guy.
War never changes. I was a huge
I
fan.
was really surprised when Ron Perlman was actually in Payday. For some
was in-
reason,
he was
I
in
never
Payday?
expected him to be in Payday 2.
What the
Ron
fuck?
Perlman himself.
he was in
Yeah, there's a
Payday?
model of him. and
Holy
everything.
shit,
You can
that's
play as him,
lit.
I think.
Oh.
All right, Todd. Do you have any fun topics? Any fun topics for the podcast?
I mean, I brought up what I wanted to bring up. I
Epic.
don't have much to bring up. I'm just kind of enjoying y'all
Vibing,
talking about
vibing.
your
Hold on, let me
Stuff.
think of
Yeah,
something.
that's kind of what
good.
I've been doing. I haven't really been
So-
talking
so right-
much, but I'm just
so
listening.
So right, yeah, in the base chat, you can use this image if you'd like. But I wrote down the notes on a piece of cardboard instead of trying to go out and find a piece of paper, and I got bored and started doodling for no fucking reason.
Good job.
Doodling.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get you.
Big doodles.
Big
All I've been
doodle.
doing is sitting here and drawing.
So my parents came and visited me in my home. That was quite nice.
In your closet.
In your gamer
Aha,
closet,
aha,
you had a
in my
family
gamer-
reunion in
in
the
my
gamer
gamer-
closet.
in my
we do
gamer
need to address
closet.
that Arthur is back in the
Closet.
gamer
I
closet.
am
where
in the
episode
gamer
one
Hell
began.
yeah.
I am in the gamer closet, and I like it this way. It's nice and
And
muggy
probably
and
smells
disgusting in
horrible.
here.
Sure, in air quotes.
Oh god, I could think of the smell. It'd be horrible.
How's the air quality? Is it stuffy?
It's so stuffy. It's so fucking stuffy.
Like, are you getting
It's so
lightheaded right now?
nasty. I'm getting so sweaty because I'm wearing like this massive sweater. I'm getting so disgustingly sweaty. Ugh. But you know, it's good to be back and recording the podcast. I really do like
Hell
this.
yeah.
I do
really
enjoy
did
it.
miss this.
We've had a very long hiatus.
If only Scatterman was here with us. We had a long hiatus just because of
Scatman
time
John.
complications. It was time complications and like, you know, like sometimes we just got lazy and sometimes we just like lost the motivation and you know, it was a bunch of
It's
different
it's
stuff.
life
No,
happening.
let's
It
be
happens
honest,
to
it was just-
everyone.
But hey,
Yeah,
we
life
finally
life happens, and we're going to be stepping it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, does anybody have any other topics to bring up? Any fun topics?
Let me think of
Uh,
something retarded. Give me one
I,
second.
Okay.
I do have a close for Fallout.
All right,
the
all right.
Frontier
So
mod.
we're coming back to
That-
Fallout Frontier. All right.
oh,
that it is a free mod that
It's a free
anybody could play at any time, and that just because we have our own opinions about it doesn't mean it should influence how you experience the gameplay
Of
yourself.
course.
Oh
of
yeah,
course,
absolutely.
Of course.
Enjoy the game for what it is.
I
Like
still need to play it.
if I think
You're
it's
having fun,
goofy,
that's
if I think it's
good.
goofy, those opinions are 100% are my own. Like you do not have to agree with me on
Wait,
in
can
any
we all agree that the
circumstance.
only reason that Fallout the Frontier is going to be remembered
You
is
know
probably
something?
just
If
because
anything, I'm
Blizzard.
concerned that it hasn't come out on Steam yet. It was supposed to, but
Yeah,
it
it's
hasn't yet.
supposed to come out on
Yeah.
Steam. It's not on Steam yet?
Yeah, that's how I was going to
Yeah,
get
like-
it, but like it's not out yet.
Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting. That's
Uh,
odd.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you guys were talking about like favorite game or whatever of like 2020,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um,
go for it.
who then?
Mine
Oh,
was CK3.
CK3,
I never heard of it.
Crusader Kings.
Hell yeah.
Crusader Kings
Oh
3
wait, no, I heard it.
was a brand new addition to that series.
Hell
Which
yeah.
did liven up a whole lot of gameplay for that.
Wait,
Really
My game
expanded upon the formula.
Yeah.
All right. I've never been a huge fan of Crusader Kings. I've been a fan of Civ. I love Civ. I haven't played Crusader Kings.
I love Civ 2. Civ 2 was.
Civ
I-
6 is
I-
fun.
I hated Civ 5. Just like it was so boring.
I'm not a big gamer, but Civ 6 is fun, in my opinion. I enjoyed it.
Wait, can a game that technically
type of
came
game-
out like
Oh.
the game I was gonna say it came out in like 2016, but it actually like got its last update like this last year in 2020.
Well,
Like,
but
major
but
update.
then I could say like Team Fortress 2, because Team Fortress 2 gets updates like
Yeah, but like
every.
no, but
like,
the
very
game is
soon.
basically considered finished though.
I don't know. What game is it?
My summer car.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I've seen that game. Yeah.
Oh, I know that game.
I mean,
Well, we could say the same thing about Terraria. How long has that game been around?
Oh wait,
If
guys,
you're at
guys.
it,
800 years.
Wait, Vac has actually made a really good point. Why don't we talk about some other Fallout mods like Fallout 4 New Vegas or Fallout 4 London?
Oh,
I'm not
Fallout
big
New
on
Vegas Dust. Y'all
I'm
ever
not,
play
I'm
that?
not too
Fallout
big on
New
the
Vegas
Fallout
Dust.
modding community.
yeah, me neither.
Here's my official opinion on Fallout New Vegas Dust, and I think this is how I view it currently. I think that game is fun. I think it's fun and extremely challenging.
What
However-
is Fallout New Vegas Dust?
Fallout New Vegas
Go on
Dust.
Nexus right now and take a look at it.
Yeah, it basically takes place.
Just
No, but it
just
takes place
give
after.
give the audience.
It takes place after a new California Republic victory, but think about it like if everything just goes wrong. Like for example, the new California Republic find the mist from the Sierra Madre, and the new California Republic find like a bunch of these like tunnelers invade the wasteland. Like
Yeah, like
tunnelers come.
Ulysses predicted. Right.
Yeah, and like everything kind of just goes wrong. And so in this wasteland, you are either like a cannibal or you're like an NCR ranger who like thinks like this universe is populated by cannibals who are hostile on sight, NCR rangers and NCR troopers who are hostile on sight, tunnelers who
Everything
are hostile
kill
on
you.
sight. Yeah, everything fucking tries to kill you. And essentially you're supposed to the only goal of the game is to escape. And that's
Oh, so
really
it's like
fucking hard.
just solo
yeah.
Escape from Tarkov, I guess.
I mean, I don't really know anything about
I
Tarkov.
think this was out. I think
don't-
that was
I
out
don't
before
know.
Tarkov.
I don't know anything about Escape from Tarkov, so I just
Yeah.
assumed.
Yeah, but like essentially your main goal, your only goal is to escape the
Just to-
Mojave wasteland. That
So
is now
it's
and-
kind of
become-
in a way it's kind of its own like.
Oh, it's its own game.
Massive overhaul of the Sierra Madre.
no,
I-
it's no, I
in a
wouldn't say that.
fashion.
I'd say that it's just like this massive, just like Fallout gone wrong and deadly and awful. Like for example, the Brotherhood of Steel have been ousted from their secret headquarters, and now they have their headquarters in Camp Searchlight, and like the like like a bunch of stuff just goes wrong. Like everything just goes wrong essentially. Joshua Graham is infected by one of the
he turns into a Wendigo.
yeah, he turns into a Wendigo, which is like this massive spore carrier creature.
Yeah, and he's pretty much invincible, and he comes out only at certain times of the day in the Zion
Yeah.
Canyon, and you pretty much don't travel during that time
Yeah, yeah.
because he'll come and kill you.
They fucking
that
follows
is
you.
in a way that is very fitting.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's kind of awful, you know.
Like
all
it
of,
was
all
supposed
of
to
the
be like a
Zion
reference.
tribals, all of the Zion tribals die.
Yeah,
Like it's
'cause-
supposed to be a spin on like his inner demons that he's
Yeah,
kind of, and then he kind of lets it consume him, and like all that emotional crap. But like that's pretty much how it is. I don't know anything about the divide. I haven't gone there in Dust yet.
The divide essentially is inhabited by like the dust people. The people who have
Oh
been
yeah,
the
yeah.
tunnelers.
yeah. Well, no, not the tunnelers, but
the red men.
the marked men, and
Marked men, yeah.
essentially these marked men have found a way to communicate with each other and form tribal societies.
So they're the most advanced.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well, no,
just
they're
advanced
not
only
advanced. They're just
people.
kind of just like tribes of people who eat each other and kill each other, and it's whatever.
Okay,
It is
tribal
what
so
it
skin
is.
people.
Just dudes being guys,
It's just me or being like a marked man, being one of like the marked men or whatever would be like really painful because you
Oh,
don't
apparently
got,
it
Yes,
is.
it is.
yeah,
Yeah, in the
like,
lore, they're in
you don't-
constant pain.
yeah, you don't got skin. You're probably like everything just hurts.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only reason they're alive is due to the
Ah.
radiation.
Yeah, the
That's it. If
radiation
there
just
was
keeps
none-
them up.
Yeah,
Which I'd like
It is.
similar concepts to be explored with that kind of like ghoul, like the Dust Walker kind of ghoul.
Like it's this constant pain and suffering.
I mean, I think they're interesting.
Sounds like being alive, am I right?
Yeah, it sounds like living
Yeah.
in Western society. Am I
It's just
right,
living with
ladies and
extra
gentlemen?
steps.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yes.
man, I'm depressed.
So
Same. No, I'm just
But
joking.
listen, we're here. We're all depressed.
Okay, Lackaboy, thank you for being 14.
I am.
Thank you
but,
for
uh,
acknowledging my
but
age,
there-
retard.
Okay.
Is there any other
Oh.
like closings to anything we have said?
Yeah. Yeah. In closing about Fallout Frontier, I think that Fallout Frontier is extremely creative. They were pushing the limit. It takes
absolutely.
a lot of bravery to create what they created.
However,
Yeah.
Well, let's be
However,
honest.
the end product, due to unknown stubbornness, due to limitations of the hardware, due to the limitations of the time limitations that they had and things like that, due to the fact that there were a lot of different influences on the game, due to just all of that, it comes out as
But
lackluster. It comes out as lackluster
we-
and just not that fun. Unfortunately, for
we
me.
can't really complain there because it is a free add-on.
Well,
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
like,
well, I mean,
wait.
we still have the right to
Why can't we
complain.
complain about that?
Like,
mean,
just
like-
because it's free doesn't mean we can't complain about it. Like, they've been working on this
They
for
could
how many
it
years
would have
now?
been
Like,
it would have been
Because-
worse if they charged us for this.
well, yes.
The
It
way
would've
I
been
see
way
it,
worse.
It would've been
the way I
absolutely
see it,
worse.
when it doesn't really matter if something charges you or not. The thing is that you criticize the things you love because you want them to be better. That's
Exactly.
the ultimate goal of looking at stuff and trying to
But
come up with an opinion about it. And while there's a lot to be respected about the mod in itself, there's
but,
also a lot of things that are kind of on the questionable side of decision making. But that's
Like
not
the
for us
fact-
to say. I mean, it's not
But-
us,
but it's
doing
it's
the
like
legwork.
the way I grew up is like you be happy with what you get or you don't get it at all.
Yeah, but
But-
Well, that's
I mean, like,
true. Well, that's
for-
true.
for-
I feel like
for
what we
overall-
got is
for-
well, but
for-
I feel
for a
like
free
look,
mod.
wait, but Dominic, you need to understand. Like, do they not benefit more from us telling them, like, or at least us giving our opinions, like us as the gamers, as the consumer?
yeah,
Do
of
they
course.
not benefit more from
But-
our input?
But I'm saying overall, it is a good mod because, well,
I mean, it's a good
it is
mod
a great
for,
it is a
it's-
great overhaul for the Fallout New Vegas.
It's really
and-
impressive. I can say that it's a
It's
really
impressive.
impressive feat.
especially for it to just be out there to the public for anybody to just download whenever.
I think it's
Yeah,
impressive.
but
I don't
still, it's got-
necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say that it is. This is my personal opinion. I wouldn't say that it's anything like spectacular. It's an okay game at best. In my
Didn't
opinion.
Mantis almost get a voice
So-
acting gig?
Oh God.
Yeah, Mantis
Like-
almost did get a voice acting gig. However, Mantis, like, I want to make it clear that Mantis is not influencing any of our opinions. Like, this is our opinions based on the content that we've been
Yes.
able to absorb.
I don't think you wouldn't have done
Me
well.
having hands-on experience with the game, people doing research. You know, we've been doing a lot to cover this kind of topic. But yeah, that's kind of how I see it. and-
As professional as we can.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
But yeah,
Um,
either way, I hope that the people that worked on this that weren't the ones that were the stubborn ones that were assholes to people, but actual people who, like the person who did the vehicles mod, some of the people behind the voice acting, I hope they find more because there was solid stuff done here that I want to see further on in the future. Because believe me, if there's like a separate like driving mod for New Vegas by the person who did that, I'll download it. If I see
Oh,
some
yeah,
of the
heck
people in
yeah.
the future voice acting and other mods, I'll be interested in them.
absolutely.
It's just that this product itself is not the best starting point, so I hope that doesn't hurt people in their future endeavors.
I
Well,
don't
of
think
course,
it will.
You're never gonna
Yeah.
strike gold on your first fucking project. You're
Oh,
naive
no.
if you do. If you think you're gonna do that. Like,
No.
I mean, like it. Look,
Unless you are very lucky.
yeah, unless you're very lucky or extremely like you're god tier fucking writing shit. Even Christopher Nolan has really shitty films. Like everybody's got like some stuff that they need to work on, and like pointing out these things that they need to work on. I feel like we've put it in a very like as far as we've gone with it, I think we've put it in a rather like respectful context. I think I mean, I haven't like. I think that some things are goofy, and I think that some things are kind of bad, and I've laughed about it, yeah. But like, I don't think that like this is like me being like, you're a bad person for writing this. You're like a shitty person for even trying. I don't think that's
Or telling to everyone out there, oh, if you like this, you're stupid. No,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, no,
that's
no,
not
no,
the intention at
absolutely.
all. The thing is that we're just commenting, based on what we know and what we played and what we like and we don't like. And at the end of the day, it's out there for anyone to try out and to play it. And who knows, maybe you like it. And if you do, hey, that's more power to you.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
do not have to agree with us, which is the good part.
Yes, there are things to like in the mod. It's just we wanted to not be like, oh, it's a free mod, so there's
It's
nothing
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can say
amazing
much
or
about
It's
it.
whatever.
we didn't want to be like it's a free
We're
mod,
just
so
here-
like
we're-
people should be
we're
great.
just
We
here.
should be grateful that we've received anything at all. Like kind of.
We're
kind
just
of
here
bit.
to give our hot takes on this
Yes.
this new
Hot-
very,
hot takes
very
are just-
popular mod.
Yeah.
Wait,
Just
we can
just
all
the vehicles. That's
we-
the only good part about the game.
I really did like the vehicle.
Wait.
Like,
All
Remember
right,
it.
I think the season 2 episode 1 has wound down to its logical conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for sticking by us for this large amount of time, and I want you guys to give us a like and a subscribe maybe, because we do
hopefully,
care
maybe.
about what we say.
Come to the
we care
Discord,
about
for the
say
love of
hello.
God.
we
Wait,
do come to the Discord.
Talk
We,
shit,
we
Discord
talk
yeah,
shit to the creator.
absolutely.
Discord link's down in
absolutely.
the description if you want to
Absolutely.
follow
Absolutely.
Yeah,
us
and,
there.
and,
And we're
I'm
also
a moderator.
we're also linking
Y'all
our
can talk
friends,
to me.
and you should follow our friends. And look, thank you
I
so
want
much for
to stick my
sticking.
PP in
Mhm.
a
Thank
pencil
you.
serpent.
Okay. All right. Yay, Lacka boy, we love having you on here. Yay.
Yay, we'll have him on again. Don't worry.
Yeah, let's
I'm
just
joking.
get in. Hell yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, have a nice day and a wonderful evening, and like and subscribe and
Come
suck
join
my-
the
and-
Discord. We've got the coolest mod, we've got the hottest mod, and we've got a channel dedicated to,
Heck
to
yeah,
memes
bunch
of
of
our
Heck
host.
yeah.
Shut up,